Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Attack Wrap. I'm your host, Nick Kennedy. Before we jump into our interviews, we're going to take a quick look at the Players of the Week. Sent out by the OHL Player of the Week, going to Erie Otters, Pano Fimis. Congratulations to Pano there, or Pano rather, getting 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points, a number of those coming here at the Bayshore. The OHL Goalie of the Week going to Marcus Vandenberg with the Niagara Ice Dogs. 2 wins, 1.96 goals against average this weekend, and 77 saves on the week. You can see a total there, 12 games played, a 3.95 and a 0.891. So a great weekend for Marcus, really a stat booster for him. And then your Owen Sound Attack Player of the Week going to Cedric Guindon with 3 goals, 2 assists, and 5 points on the weekend. You can see there 16 goals, 14 assists, 30 points in 26 games. So just over a point a game there from Cedric Guindon. Congratulations to Cedric getting Player of the Week for the Owen Sound Attack. Now I'd like to welcome our 2 guests, number 7, Deni Goure, and number 27, Declan Waddick. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Want to jump into just kind of hear a little bit about your guys' minor experience. So, Deni, playing with Chatham Kent Cyclones, what was that like for you? I mean, you played quite a few games for them, over a point a game. You know, what does it take to do that in AAA?
Yeah, minor hockey was a really good time for me. It was lots of fun. I played for Chatham my whole life growing up. It was sitting most of the same people all the way up, and yeah, it was just lots of fun.
Excellent. And yourself, Declan, there playing with the Sun Country Panthers?
Sun County
Panthers. U15 AAA. What was that experience like for you?
Yeah, I know. So I was playing for Chatham for my first 2 years, and then we decided to move, and so I could play for Sun County, and we were hosting all of Ontario, so it was a pretty exciting year. We ended up winning, and we had a really good team. It was a lot of fun being on a winning team, and yeah, no, it was good. It was really good. Yeah.
Any of those guys from your guys' minor league that you guys enjoy battling against still?
I don't think there is another player on my team that is in the OHL now. A lot of the good players went the school route, so
sure,
good for them. But yeah.
Yeah, same with me. There's no one in the OHL, but a couple of guys went the school route. One's playing in the BC right now, having lots of success, just signed D1, so it's good for him.
Great. Yeah, I saw that as well. That's exciting for him. Deni, I'm wondering, being one of the few players on this team that actually got a season of OHL before the COVID break, what was that like for you to come into the league, get a whole season, and then have to take a year off? I mean, everybody got that year off, but for you, making it to the OHL, this hyper-competitive league, did it feel like almost a bigger loss for you that year?
Yeah, it felt like a huge loss, that being my draft year too. Felt like I had a pretty good rookie season, so I was going to hopefully be able to come back and have a good season, but there was no season. I got to learn a lot. We had a really good team that year with some older guys like Brady Lyle, Aiden Dudaz, guys like that, so got to learn a lot from them. And yeah, it obviously sucks not being able to have your draft year, but it was good.
What kind of things did you do in that year off that, I mean, you come in and you have a really good year as a rookie, just about half a point a game, which is great for a new player in the league, playing almost every single game, or I think every single game that season. You've got this year off, and then all of a sudden you come back, and for 3 seasons now, or 2.5 seasons, including this one, you're right around that point per game mark. Like, what kind of things did you learn and study and practice in that year off to come out and just absolutely explode offensively?
Yeah, it was pretty weird because that COVID season we were supposed to have a really good team. We had a lot of hype going around that team, but then coming back the next season, my 3rd year, we had a pretty young team, so I had to take a big jump and be one of the leaders my 3rd year in the league, which doesn't happen too often, but I feel like that helped me because do my best out there knowing I had to be my best for the team.
Excellent. Declan, for you, what was that year off like? Were you able to find ice easily? Were you kind of mostly doing off-ice training?
Yeah, so actually me and my family decided I'd go to Waterloo, so I technically played for the Wolves, but obviously we didn't have a season, and I ended up going to Victus Academy, which is like a private hockey school, to make sure I was getting ice every single day and making sure I was developing, even though COVID was a thing and a lot of people couldn't find ice. And so I thought that was probably the best decision me and my family made, and I think it turned out pretty well for me, so I'm happy I did that.
Awesome, awesome. Declan, I'm wondering if you could kind of enlighten us a little bit to what it's like to be traded in the OHL. I mean, just recently coming here to Owen Sound, did you know throughout the summer that a move was incoming, or was it just kind of a surprise right before camp you saw this happen?
Yeah, no, me and my family have talked about it before, but in the summer we were looking for a move, and my agent was really good for me this summer, and Owen Sound was interested, and end of August the trade happened, and I was really excited, and obviously being traded and being on a new team is hard. It's hard, like being the new guy around the room and stuff, but it's a good group of guys, and I feel real comfortable right now, and I'm just excited for the season.
What's something that the fans wouldn't know? Like, you know, they watch the games, they see the social media posts,
Yeah.
they follow that way, but what's something that they wouldn't know around that whole kind of coming into a new league and what it's, or into a new team rather, and what that transition is like?
Probably the pressure. There's a lot of pressure involved for sure. Like, you want to perform, you want to produce, you want to be the guy they traded for, that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to be that guy, and you want to be good. It's very stressful as well, but for sure the pressure and the stress is probably the toughest thing that they probably don't realize.
For sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And Deni, for yourself, being an overager, I mean, everybody knew that a move would be incoming kind of towards the beginning of the year, 4 overagers on the team. Do you feel like there is that pressure, even though you're not the one moved? Do you feel like there is pressure in that situation for you as well to kind of show that, you know, I deserve this roster spot?
Yeah, for sure. We had 4 good OAs that could have easily anyone could have easily gotten a spot on the team. So coming into camp, there was a lot of pressure, and, you know, I had to come out and perform and be the best you could possibly be, because I obviously wanted to be here, and it was tough. You know, losing Lawrence sucked, obviously, but it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And for you as well, like kind of being an overager, what do you feel like you have sort of more of a role now in the locker room, in the dressing room, trying to just sort of be that calming presence to some of these new guys that are coming up? I mean, you see the Harry Nancys, the Jake Crawfords, the Nico Addies, these new young kids, and you were in that position before COVID. What kind of things are you trying to sort of impart on them this year?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I've been around for 5 years, got lots of experience compared to those guys. Just try to let them know the league gets harder. Like, by example, the start of the season, the preseason something, then the start of the season it ramps up a bit. Then after Christmas takes another step, and then once you get to playoffs, it's a whole new level. So just stuff like that, because I've been around and they just haven't experienced it yet.
For sure, for sure. What do you guys like about this team this year? Like, I mean, I see there's so much offensive capability. We see, you know, even young guys like Jake Crawford that are willing to throw their body in front of people, and you know, you see like Tejas Jordan throwing huge hits in games. Like, how do you guys sort of define the team culture or the team's game this year?
I think our best games are when we are best defensively, because we are so offensive, the offense comes. But when we have our best games defensively and we don't get scored on, we end up putting the puck in the net, and I think those are our best games, is when we're best defensively.
Cool.
Yeah, I agree with what Declan said, and I'd say we're a hard-working team. We got to come out and work hard, and we should be good.
Great, excellent. You know, you guys have 2 games in less than 24 hours. I mean, not a lot of people have to go through that. I don't think necessarily fans watching can really fully appreciate everything that has to go into making sure that you're prepared mentally and physically going into not just a back-to-back, but a back-to-back in under 24 hours. What is that like for you guys, and how do you prepare for game 1 and for game 2?
Well, obviously, game 2 is a lot tougher than game 1 because you have a lot more time to prepare for game 1. But I don't think there's any excuse that we did end up losing that second game. We should have never ever lost that game. We were obviously up 3 goals or whatever it was, and we didn't play a full 60 minutes, and we deserved that loss. But just always being prepared, even if it's 12, 14 hours after a game, just got to be a pro.
Yeah, a lot like Declan said, you know, knowing you got a game the very next morning, you're getting up, eating, going to the rink, you gotta recover your body, you know, do the right things, and it is tough, especially being the same team too. You battle with the same guys the night before, then you got them again the next day, so it is tough. But yeah, like Declan said, there's no excuse that we lost that game. It was a pretty tough loss for us.
Sure, and we'll get to kind of the games as well soon. We'll take a look at the highlights in the second half. I'm wondering for you guys, sort of, does it almost feel like playoffs when you've got a back-to-back and it's against this same team?
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that it feels like we're playing in the playoffs already. Like each time we play London, it feels like we're in the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know. It does feel like playoff games. I don't know. It really just depends.
Yeah, they're right behind us in the standings, so they really wanted to win those games as well. So it was a battle out there, and there's lots of games that feels like that too.
Do you find when you're going into game 2 of a back-to-back, especially when it's against the same team, is that harder than going into a back-to-back against just another team? Like you're playing against one team and then a different team the night after. Like, is there extra scouting that goes on? Do you guys feel like you know that team a little bit better going into the next game?
Yeah, I think it's easier for both teams to prepare for each other because of game 1, and you can really look at what they're doing on the power play, what they're doing on the penalty kill, their systems. Like, it's a lot easier to study them for the next game. So I think game 2 is always a lot tougher for both teams.
Yeah, it is tougher. Like, by example, they got a really good goalie over there, Ben Gaudreau, and we got him game 1, so we knew he was going to come back and have a good game, even though we did get 5 goals on him, but he was still pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the battles against Erie this year for you guys, especially at the Bayshore, have been exciting battles. I think yourself picking up a shorthanded goal against them the first time in the season to force overtime, and I think I lost my voice at that game. That was a wild experience. You know, Deni, being a kind of a natural goal scorer yourself, I mean, being able to score these timely, shorthanded goals to force overtime, is that something that has always been natural for you? Have you always been a natural goal scorer, or is this something that you've had to kind of fight and really work for?
Yeah, somewhat. It's been there, you know, growing up on Chatham. I've always been like the main guy getting the points there and stuff. So I've had it all the way up. How do you prepare then for a game? Like, what are some of the things that you would be kind of making your bread and butter to stay this natural goal scorer that you've clearly been even through your OHL career? Yeah, it's pretty tough. Every game's different. It's real tough. You know, you try to take your opportunities you get and try to do the best with them. Yeah, absolutely. Well, excellent. You know, Declan, for yourself, you had a huge offensive year with Niagara. You know, I guess moving teams, like, you feel that pressure. And I feel like, you know, watching you in these games, like picking up tons of points now and you know, lots of assists and whatnot. Are you feeling like maybe you're really kind of finding your groove and your spot here in Owen Sound now? Yeah, no, obviously it was hard to start to play with new guys I'd never played with, or new styles, new coaching, all that kind of stuff. But I think my game, obviously, in the defensive zone and whatever it is, the plus minus has gotten a lot better. And I just think the offense will come, and as long as I'm doing the little things right and in the D zone, all that kind of stuff, I think the offense is just going to come, and I just got to keep working hard and just hope it comes. How do you win the mental battle that goes on? Like, you know, you see what you're able to do. For myself, I went skating this weekend for the first time in years, and playing in university, and then
having a break for 8-9 years.
Yeah.
You know, I get frustrated out there. I'm like, I know what I should be able to do, and I physically can't do it. You know, not that you're in that position, but that mental hump to kind of get over. How do you win those battles?
Yeah, no, the mental game is obviously the hardest part, and a lot of people probably don't understand, but the frustration is really, it really got to me at the beginning of the season, and I kind of just looked at my game and told myself 3 things that I wanted to do, then make sure I'm good at them. And the one game in Windsor, like the day before, I took 3 things I wanted to make sure I was good at that game, and I did them, and I had a good night, and I just try to do that every game.
Absolutely. I mean, picking up, what was it like for you picking up that first goal for Owen Sound?
You know, obviously it felt really good in front of hometown, in front of the family, and or whatever it was. But yeah, it felt good, and I just hope I can keep bringing that every night.
Excellent. You know, for both of you, I mean, Deni, especially being a leader on this team and being one of those overagers that has all this experience that you can now kind of draw on to help these younger players figure out what their position is on the team and figure out how to play in this league. How important is that mental game as an entire team?
It is pretty important. You know, guys have their mind setting on their personal goals so much, but the main part is winning hockey games, really.
Right.
So, really, if you're not doing so well, you can do lots of different things to help the team win games.
In situations like, you know, we watched how that first game that Erie came up here for in the season, and you know, the one where I think it was Burroughs got the overtime winner, and you can almost see the fight and the desire for the win like boiling up on the bench. It's this almost palpable feeling in the arena when, you know, there's 2 kind of missed calls against Owen Sound that the refs don't see. Then they call 2 penalties against Owen Sound, and the fans are going crazy and you guys are going nuts, and you can almost see like just this mental fortitude begin to rise up, and you guys are, you know, you can look at the bench and you're like, no, these guys have decided they're going to win this game, and they're going to find a way to do it. You know, do you feel like, is there, can mentality win games? Can it lose games for teams as well?
Yeah, for sure it can. Like being up and positive on the bench, it makes a huge difference, keeps guys intense into the game, stuff like that, and being down on the bench, you know, getting pissed at your teammates, you know, ain't always the best thing.
Sure. Do you guys, can you feel like the way that we were able to feel you guys almost choosing like we're going to win this game, that very first one against Erie? Do you guys feel that as well on the bench going the other way? Like when things just kind of feel like maybe they're deflating a little bit or you know, feeling a little jittery or passes aren't quite tape to tape. Like, do you feel that on the bench more than just physically, but is there like kind of an air there on the bench?
Yeah, you can certainly feel the vibe on the bench. If it's getting chippy, if the refs are making bad calls, guys are screaming at the refs, losing their temper, it shows on the ice, and it's never a good thing. I think just to stay positive and not so negative is really important. Even if you're winning or losing, just that mindset is a really big thing. So, yeah.
Same thing for you as well?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. How would you then, kind of as 2 guys who have lots of OHL experience now, how do you kind of combat that? Like, what can, you know, for all the junior attack that are watching, that, you know, they're going to have a bad game. They're going to be in their own head. They're going to think this is the end of my hockey career because, you know, I got out there and missed a pass or somebody scored on me or something like that. What kind of advice would you give them to sort of turn that slide around? Like when they feel that just kind of, it's, you know, the game is sliding, it's getting out of control. What sort of advice would you give them to just be able to stay in this one?
Yeah, you gotta have a short-term memory playing the game. You know, you go out for a shift, say you have a bad shift, you do something wrong, you turn the puck over, something like that. You go back to the bench. You don't want to think about that for the rest of the game. That could really screw up your game. So have a short-term memory. Go out and have a good next shift.
Excellent.
Yeah, no, I think don't be scared to make mistakes either. Like everyone makes mistakes. Doesn't matter who you are. Everyone's going to make mistakes, and I think it's obviously not the end of the world. You just got to go make it back, go do something out there, and it'll be okay. So
Excellent. Well, that's great advice for all the young fans that, at least we hope, are watching right now. Yeah, I'm wondering for you guys, how do you prepare? We kind of talked a little bit about the mental, the physical. What about your routines? Do they change when you've got a back-to-back, especially a home game, and more specifically an afternoon game? Do you feel like your routines are different for an afternoon versus an evening game?
very, very different. I try to make sure I get a lot more sleep, or I go to bed earlier if we have an afternoon game, because I like to take a nap if we're playing at 7. So probably just a sleep thing. Make sure I'm getting enough sleep before games. Make sure I'm drinking lots of water and getting the right food. It's probably it. I'm not too superstitious.
Okay.
But yeah.
How about yourself?
Yeah, the main thing that's different for me is the pregame meal. I'm not going to have chicken and rice right in the morning when I wake up for a 2 o'clock game. So stuff like that's different. But when you get to the rink, 2 hours before, something like that, it's pretty much the same stuff.
Yeah, business as usual, just different time of the day.
Yeah.
Do you guys have sort of cool down routines after a game? You've got a 2 o'clock game, and you're probably pretty used to, finishing a game, and at least if it's on the road, grabbing the pillow and getting to the bus, or at home, probably heading home after the game. What do you do after an afternoon game? Do you cool down? Do you kind of, spend the rest of the day out? And
yeah, no, it really depends if my parents are down or not. I like to go see my parents, spend time with them, because obviously I don't get to see them that often. But cool down's a really important thing, after games especially. I like to do a little bit of that, and hang out with the guys afterwards if it's a 2 p.m. game. But other than that, nothing.
Yeah, a 2 p.m. game gives you lots more free time after. Really go do whatever you want. It's not like it's too late already. So yeah, it's a little different than a 7 p.m. game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm wondering for you guys, what was it like, kind of that first experience, seeing your name and your number on somebody else's back? I was driving to the game on Saturday, and just kind of coming down the road towards the Bayshore, and I saw at least 2 Deni Goure jerseys, number 7 right on the back. What is that like for you? Was it a little surreal to see your name and number on somebody else?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's real cool to see that. It means a lot. The kids are a fan of me, so it's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Declan, how about yourself? Have you been able to have that experience, seeing your name and number on someone else's?
A lot more so last year, just because I had been there for 2 years, and it's just really cool. You have jerseys of guys in the NHL, and you just love those guys. You love to watch them. You're big fans, and then seeing other kids feel the same way about you is just a surreal feeling, and I just grateful.
Yeah, well, it's always fun to watch the kids before the game, and just how excited they get. You'd mentioned, it's fun having kids cheer for you. I was taking notes down near your guys' door, and just before the game on Saturday, and you got this one real young fan who's just giving every single person a fist bump, and I think Hookie was walking by, and the kid shouts out, "Where's number 7? Where's number 7?" So I guess you got a lot of young fans out there, which is great.
That's awesome.
It's working well. How important to you guys is having that kind of fan culture? I mean, you guys had a fan skate, a family skate after the game on Sunday. Do you guys value those kind of things? Are those important to sort of the team culture as well?
Yeah, I think so, for sure. And obviously, as a player, it just makes you feel happy, and to make those kids happy. And I love to do it. Whatever, it's a good time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's nice being able to give back to them. They come support us at the games and doing stuff like that. It's nice being able to give back to them. Give them some autographs, pictures, stuff like that.
Yeah, it must be special. I know obviously Sunday was a tough game day for you guys, a tough game, but to have these kids that are they're going to cheer for you whether 100 goals go in or 100 goals get scored. They don't care what really happens. They're excited to see you guys and get out there. Do you guys feel? I know Owen Sound being kind of the smallest, I think the smallest population city in the entire CHL. I know for sure OHL, I think CHL as well. Do you guys almost feel like local celebrities up here a little bit?
I wouldn't necessarily say celebrity, but sometimes you can get recognized if we're going to Tim Hortons or Euro. They'll be a little extra nice sometimes, which is kind of cool. But I guess a little bit.
Sure.
Yeah, you do get recognized out in the city. Some of the older guys.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, a lot of people do recognize you, even if you're just walking into a gas station or something like that.
Sure.
And Tim Hortons, in your suit after a game. The McDonald's, the person giving out the food, they'll recognize you sometimes.
Yeah. It must be, I wonder, what was your experience in Niagara like that? I mean, being a much more metropolitan area of Ontario, did you get recognized more or less down there? I mean, more people could recognize you, but also there's so many people that you got to assume it's probably less like being a local celebrity down there.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I'd say probably Owen Sound, you're getting recognized a lot more just because there's a lot more places you could be in Niagara. You could live in Niagara or St. Catharines, and you do get recognized, but I'd probably say a lot more often here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, we've got about a minute here before we have to cut to the break. So what I want to do real quick is just read. We've got a trivia question, and it won't be for you guys, but it'll be about you guys. And those of you watching at home, you'll be able to answer this and win yourself a pair of tickets to Saturday's game. So we'll go ahead and throw that question up for you. And it's Deni Goure played 5 regular season games and 4 playoff games for a team in the GOHJL. Which team did he play for? Again, the prize will be tickets to Saturday, December 9th's game against Sarnia. You can text in or call in your answer to the number at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you do that. Okay, I want to ask you 30 seconds. That's all you got. How'd you lose your tooth?
It was a long process, but started with a high stick.
Okay.
Got a fake one. Then in playoffs, got hit by Ottman. It was like we ran into each other, pretty big collision, and my tooth became loose.
Okay.
And it broke way up in the gum. So they just had to take the one piece out, take the rest of it out, and.
What are the chances you replace it with a gold tooth?
No chance.
No chance. Okay, no chance. Well, you heard it here. It's on record. We'll be right back after this break. You're watching Attack Wrap.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
TSC has exciting offers every day on gifts for everyone. A new Today's Showstopper. Oh yes, big hug for Mom of the Year. Holiday pricing on top brands. Hubby, check. Dad, check. Sweet treats and gift sets my cousin will love. And for Mom, a magical Avera necklace with interest-free Easy Pay. Holiday shopping done. Light up your holidays with exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
I'm Mayor Ian Body. If you want to understand the decisions being made about your community, please join us on Rogers TV Cable 53 on Mondays at 5:30 p.m. or online at rogerstv.com to watch the Owen Sound City Council. You can also read our agendas and reports or watch replays of meetings at owensound.ca. We hope you'll stay informed and we hope you'll tune in. Thanks.
Hi, I'm David Sherman, host of Politically Speaking. Join me for my next show, where my guest will be Ian Body, Mayor of Owen Sound. Politically Speaking on Rogers TV.
welcome back to Attack Wrap here on Rogers TV. I'm your host, Nick Kennedy. We're going to jump into what's becoming a fun bit on the show here. We're going to tape some mini sticks. The guys will sign those afterwards, and make sure you text in your answer to our trivia question because you will get a chance to win these sticks if you are at the Bayshore for a home game. So make sure you're there, and one of these sticks could in fact be yours. So gentlemen, just feel free, grab a stick, grab some tape, tape it. You don't have to use the same color you would normally use, but you know, tape it generally how you would tape your stick for a game or for practice.
On this.
Yeah, and, I switch mine up a lot. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
We were talking to Martin Matejcek a couple of weeks ago, and he had mentioned that he changed his knob. Now, this came one day after he scored his first goal for Owen Sound, and he decided to change his tape right after that. Are you guys, do you vibe with that? Like, is that like...
No, that's crazy.
that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah,
so,
that's weird.
do you guys, like, have you chosen to tape your stick the way you have because you found success with it?
Yeah, somewhat for looks as well.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed, I don't know if you kind of color your stick white all the way up or if you tape it like all the way up the handle.
Yeah, it's tape.
Okay. Is there, what inspired the real high tape job on the blade?
I don't know, I've always been a fan of it.
Okay.
That's the way it looks.
But not really any performance benefit necessarily, just
No, not really.
like the look. Fair enough. Now, are you guys tape waxers at all? Do you wax your stick before getting out, or do you?
Yeah,
I don't.
I wax mine.
Yeah. Do you find that you get more grip from that?
Yeah, I do. I'd
Okay.
say so.
I don't.
You don't wax at all, or have you ever?
No.
Okay. So both of you guys toe to heel tapers?
I'm heel to
Oh,
toe.
you go heel to toe, and you
I
don't go
don't
all the
tape
way.
the toe.
Why is that? Any reason? Not sure.
I don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
I don't know.
That's okay. Do you tape the way that you tape? Just like, did your dad or a coach show you how to tape this way and it stuck, or?
I don't know, cause I don't know what happened, cause my parents never played hockey, so I kind of just taped my stick.
Okay.
However, like most guys on my team taped it,
Sure.
and then kind of figured out how and did my own kind of thing.
Nice. So neither of you guys do the little cord wrap around the
I
handle?
don't do much. I don't do much to my stick. I kind of just tape the top.
Okay.
I don't like it to be too grippy. I like to be able to slide my top hand.
Sure. So you don't even really do much of a knob at all, eh?
Not at all. I'll just make it a little bit thicker for some reason.
Well, as these guys are taping, we'll announce the winner here of our trivia question, going to Joanne Webley, I believe. Joanne Wepler, congratulations. You have won the 2 tickets to Saturday, December 9th's game, I believe, against the Sarnia Sting. There you go. Tickets to Saturday, December 9th for Sarnia Sting. The answer, of course, being the Chatham Maroons. So the GOHJL team that Deni played 5 regular season games with, 4 playoff games. The Chatham Maroons, playing Chatham in his
Pretty good, eh?
junior career.
This is money, though.
So we do need to ask you guys, I mean, we've asked everybody who's used the flame tape. Is it true that it makes your shot harder?
There's only really one way to find out. I'll probably use it tomorrow then.
All right, excellent. We'll find out there. Now, Deni, white all the way. Have you always been a white tape? Have you?
I actually started the year with black tape.
Okay.
And then got cold for a little bit and switched back to white.
Started
but
working
I'm
for you?
mainly a white tape guy.
Mainly white. Is there a reason that you pick white? Do you find it maybe hides the angle of the blade, or you just kind of like the look of it?
I kind of like the look of it.
Yeah. Do you do anything with it? I know a few guys that'll do white tape. They'll take a puck and do like a line sort of like across the top of the blade to get a better idea of it.
I just leave it.
Just leave it as is. Excellent. Well, there you go. We'll have these guys sign the sticks at the end of the game. We'll show those off to the camera. There's the fancy tape job by Deni Goure all the way up the blade there and up part of the handle. And we've got Declan Waddick's hot rod tape job there. Not too bad. We'll see if this ever comes out in a game. I'd really like to know. I think, if you put it on one game and you score, you are going to have to use it the rest of your career, and that's going to be,
I think so too,
probably an issue with some teams, but I'd love to see that happen. That would be fantastic.
I think it looks great.
Excellent. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to jump into a couple of highlights here, and we'll take a look at both games this weekend against Erie. And once those highlights are done, we'll come back and we'll break them all down and give the fans maybe some behind-the-scenes look into what goes into those games.
Awesome.
Excellent. Well, we'll roll Saturday's game here against the Otters, which was a great game and first win at home in a little while, so that was great to see. 7-4 win against Erie. We'll roll these highlights.
Over to Malcolm Spence. Turns on the Jets as he splits through the middle. Just lost the handle of the puck, and James Petrovsky will curl behind his own goal. Moves a bouncing puck out to Landon Hookey. Breaking up the middle, Sam Sedley. What a find! Sedley coming in. Backhand, forehand. Scores! Slate with a capital S. Sam Sedley breaks the ice.
What hands by the defenseman, Sam Sedley, with an incredible goal by the number 9. A great feed right here out of the neutral zone by Landon Hookey to find the streaking defenseman. Backhand, forehand into the yawning cage. Sam Sedley.
Arnold, who took a big hit in the first shift from Jackson Stewart, but hasn't shied away. He's come right back to battle. Here's a shot in front. Follow-up, scores! Sticking with it is Panofemis, and he swats home the rebound, and the Otters respond. We're tied 1-1.
Great work behind the net here by Sam Alfano, who uses his big body, and then Panofemis gets alone in the slot. A good save there by Carter George, but a rebound batted out of midair by Panofemis for his 8th goal of the season.
To pass it across, James Petrovsky in the corner, Guindon. Backhand couldn't find Burrows, and Schaefer just moves the puck ahead. Brissett off the board, chipped by there by Mishiak, and it's a 2-on-1. Mishiak waits, goes across, one-time shot, scores! Molnar finishes it off the pretty dish, and the Otters go up 2-1.
Andre Molnar takes the pretty feed from Martin Mishiak and pots his 8th goal of the season. But what
first period? George quickly up to Sedley, over the line. Can Owen Sound get a buzzer beater? Burrows drags it. Backhand pass. Cormier. Jordan the shot. He scores! There it is. Tails Jordan beats the buzzer, and we're tied at 2.
What a time to get your first of the year. Tails Jordan with points.
Ends up against the boards and does some good work to play it out of that scrum. Tails Jordan across. Declan Waddick with a shot. Just missed short side. Another shot. Tails Jordan scores! He's got 2 here tonight. Tails Jordan on the power play once again.
It's a Bayshore bounce that works out to perfection. Right here, Declan Waddick misses the net, but
up against Alfano at the blue line. Here is Ethan Burrows. Puck's never dead when he's out there. He just stays on it. He hounds pucks. Here's a shot by Braden Rogers in front. Opportunity. Guindon scores! Cedric Guindon extends the goal-scoring streak. That's now goals in 4 straight, and the attacker up 4-2.
Shift. And right there, Ethan Burrows, being the leader that he is, broke up an offensive zone opportunity from the Erie Otters with a big hit on Andre Molnar.
Even being physical is just getting into the dirty areas. And here's Declan Waddick with good work. Cormier scores! Waddick to Cormier. One-timer, 5-2. Down the ice. Davio picks it up behind his own goal, and he hands it off. Molnar for Misiak. Mishiak over the line, sees his man driving to the net, and he finds him. What a pass and what a redirection by Panofemis. Gives a little life to the Erie Otters as they draw back to within 2. Back up, but coming ahead now are the Otters. Sedley got in front of Spence. Sedley wins that battle, clears it out. Guindon hustles to it. Here's Cedric Guindon with a shot. He scores! Ring the bells! Cedric Guindon
goes high, glove, off 2 posts, and into the back of the net. Uses his speed to get by the Erie Otters defender, and there's just a little bit of room.
Dane Dahl was hassling Brissett. From the corner, Molnar banks off the end boards. Femus, pass across, scores! Great puck movement there, and Martin Misiak rips it home. Petrovsky, he and Ethan Burrows in. Petrovsky, Burrows scores! So that one will count. That empty netter will stand, and the attack go out in front, stretching it to 7-4.
Allow 4 goals, so they won't be too happy with that aspect of their
game there from the attack. Great to see a win coming at home there. Been a tough home stand for sure in the last month, but great to see you guys just kind of rally around the team, and Georgie playing huge in the back. And I mean, great to see Tejas Jordan picking up 2 goals there, his first 2 of the year. I'm wondering for you guys, you know, when you've got a guy on the ice, empty net, he's already got 2 goals on him. Are you just looking for every chance he can get to dish him a puck and see? It'd be great to see a guy like, you know, Tejas Jordan.
He came really close. He
just
had to raise the puck.
Yeah.
Couldn't raise it.
No elevation.
I guess he didn't want it.
Didn't want it bad enough.
I'm sure you guys made sure he heard about that later.
Oh yeah,
We did.
You know, Declan, I mean, picking up 2 assists in the game. You know, great to see from you. One off of a Jordan goal, right?
Yeah.
You know, guess for you, just do you feel like you're really finding that groove now with this team?
I think so. I think I'm getting a lot more comfortable and confident and in my game, and I just hope it keeps going.
Excellent, excellent. And you know, what does that do for a team? We talk about late goals and how they can kind of shift the energy going into a intermission or something like that. I mean, Tejas picking up a goal at 0.41 seconds left in a period. Does that, like, when it's so late into a period, does that almost give you more of a boost than like a goal in the last 50 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, I think that changed the game for sure. Going into the second, tied up at 2, I think it gave us the momentum, and we came into the game and we finished it. And I think that goal was really big.
Yeah, you always love to get a goal in the dying seconds. It's always a huge boost for the team.
What makes a player like, we see Pano Femus, who you know, he gets Player of the Week there from OHL. What makes a player like that so difficult to you know, kind of get on top of and stop from finding the back of the net? Just like so many of you guys that are so offensively minded that it looks like teams just struggle to stay on top of you. What makes a player like that hard to defend?
I think a player like Pano, he works really hard, and it's tough to stop a guy that really wants the puck and that's really hungry for the puck and tries to go into a battle and wants to win the battle. I think that's one of his biggest things he's good at is he works hard.
For sure. Deni, how about yourself?
Yeah, like what Dad said, he's a real good player, has lots of skill, and you know, he was riding a hot stick that game, and you know, he was just finding a way to put the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, a fantastic game there from the attack, being able to tie it up after the first period with 0.4 seconds. I mean, just losing our minds in the stands for sure watching that. That was very exciting. You can see the kids just out of their seats. You know, you're almost worried they're going to jump on the ice. They look so excited after that goal. So great to see there from the attack, a great win from them. Putting another one in the win category. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at Sunday's game, also against the Otters. It was 2 p.m. at the Bay Shore the day after. So we'll roll these highlights, and then we'll be right back to talk about those as well.
Home, it went just wide. Molnar, Brissett, back over to Molnar. Molnar holds. Shot by Brissett, scores! Power play goal. Less than 2.5 minutes into the game, Brett Brissett breaks the ice.
The Midland, Ontario native gets himself open for a one-timer in the high slot. A little exchange here with Andre Molnar, and he finds the 5-hole on Corbin Vaudry.
Nancy got leveled by Messier. Nancy, no worse for wear, moves over to James Petrovsky. A shot towards the net. In front, scores! I think it'll be Jake Crawford on a good bounce there for the attack. They tie the game.
It all started in the defensive end for those 3 16-year-olds. A good exit out of that defensive zone.
And here goes Panofemis. He starts up, drops it off. Good find for Sova. Shot, scores! Spencer Sova restores the 1-goal lead for the Otters. Lee over to Guindon. Guindon down to the goal line. Cross crease pass. Shot, save, not one. Stayed out. Gaudreau came across to deny Burrows. Guindon near corner. Petrovsky. Sedley, one-timer. That one just misses. Petrovsky, tough angle. He put it off the side of the... Petrovsky went to pick it up. Hookie helps him out for Guindon. Guindon backs it right out to the blue line over to Sedley. Again, McDonald's got no stick. So essentially 5 against 3.5. Sedley, toe drag, over to Guindon. Works in a little closer, fires and scores! Make it a high five for Cedric Guindon. The goal scoring streak continues and the game is tied at 2.
Cedric Guindon and Sam Sedley make the most of a stickless Bruce McDonald. He's
Guelph London game a few weeks back. Here's Goure, quick shot, scores! Just 4 seconds into the power play. Deni Goure squeaks one through, and the Attack have their first lead of the game.
Deni's efforts driving to the net caused this 5-minute power play, and just 4 seconds in, he gets the lead for the Owen Sound Attack, his 15th goal of the season. It's the quick hands in tight.
Puck up into the air, kept in by Teos Jordan. Backhands it in deep, didn't get much on it. Now he blocks it on the boards, goes across to James Petrovsky, stepping in, takes a shot, and he scores! 2 on the afternoon for James Petrovsky, and Owen Sound moves in front 4-2.
It wasn't looking too pretty for the Owen Sound Attack, but James Petrovsky gets the puck and drives the middle of the ice and rips one glove side on Ben Gaudreau. That's the 3rd goal today on the glove side on Ben.
Sedley with it, lets it go. Deflected save is made. On it was Goure. Gaudreau held his ground, back into the blue paint, stopped. Deni Goure pulls it free, out to Petrovsky, scores! Top corner, Surrak Petrovsky, and the power play just continues to roll right along. It's now 5-2.
And it's the pass of Deni Goure that gets this all started. Great work retrieving the puck, brings it behind the net, and a soft saucer pass over Matthew Schaefer's stick onto Surrak Petrovsky's tape.
Goes Malcolm Spence. Spence trying to get a step on Sedley, and he does. Spence passing it across, scores! That one deflects in off the Attack player, gets by George, so Malcolm Spence, a shorthanded goal, gets the Otters back to within 2.
A very active player he has been on the penalty kill so far today. Drives by Sam Sedley.
Misiak just trying to chop it out. It got blocked by Braden Rogers, but on the second attempt, it's cleared. And here's Andre Molnar down the left wing. Can Erie get another one back? Misiak stepping in, and he scores! Back-to-back goals just like that for the Otters. It's now a 5-4 game.
Martin Misiak just walks down Broadway and
trying to play it in front. Schaefer off the glass, a rolling puck. Madden Steen send it up into Malcolm Spence, and Spence has a scoring opportunity. Waits, goes in front, they score! Spence in front for Smith, and this game is tied.
Caleb Smith gets his 3rd goal on the year, but it's the work of Malcolm Spence.
Tried to block it, but Ty Henry squeezed the puck up the wall. Sedley, closely watched by the most recent goal scorer, Caleb Smith. Turnover up the middle. Spence at the blue line. Here's a shot from Terrence. He scores! What a shot by Kerry Terrence! And the comeback now sees the Otters out in front. They lead 6-5.
Kerry Terrence, who has been off the score sheet in the 2 games so far, makes the most of a turnover. Malcolm Spence pounces on it and finds a miss.
Panofemis awarded a penalty shot. He'll go one-on-one with Carter George. 2:45 to go. Can Femis get the insurance marker? Panofemis coming in. He scores! 5 unanswered from the Erie Otters, and the Bayshore silent. And into the corner going after it's Caleb Smith. The attack pressing with the extra skater, but the Erie Otters will clear it out down the ice. Swing and a miss from Petrovsky. This is going to do it. Carey Terrance puts another one home. This into the empty net, and the Erie Otters will get
Well, a bit of a tougher game there for the attack for sure. I mean, not the result you guys are looking for. For both of you, I mean, a great screen there for yourself, getting JP a goal there. So, wonderful job. And Deni picking up a great assist, a fantastic saucer pass, a quick goal there for the attack. So great to see. I mean, even in a loss, you guys are still firing, still battling, and those are the kind of things that we hope that all the kids that watch the games and all the kids that watch the shows are seeing that you guys even in a loss, you guys are going to battle and you guys are going to fight till the very end. I'm wondering for you guys. I mean, obviously a tough game. Number of goals coming unanswered. Do you feel like, is there a point in a game where it's just, the mental game begins to play a factor in that?
I think it definitely had a factor on why we did lose that game. I think it had the biggest factor. We got too into the game with the refs and took too many penalties, and it cost us, and we lost the game.
Sure.
There's not much else you can say about it, but yeah.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure you feel pretty similarly to that as well.
Pretty similar.
I mean, we were talking kind of before the show and even around the arena, like it seems like this year, the OHL, like any team could beat any team on any night. Like, I mean, you see even the Spits are starting to heat up a little bit and knocking out teams like the Storm and things like that. Like it really feels like this year any team really could win on any given night. And so that's why, when we watch you guys play and you have a big game there against Erie the first night, still able to pot 5 goals. Like, I mean, this attack team is showing that you guys are not going to go down this season for sure without a fight, absolutely. And you guys are, even on tough games, able to perform to 5 goals. Like, excellent job from the attack, and I think it gives a lot of the fans a lot of hope for this season. I mean, there's still so much hockey left to play, and you guys are a proven powerhouse team. So what we'll do, we'll throw to our trivia question here, and we'll give the folks a chance to win another set of tickets. So we'll go ahead and throw that question up here, and it's what player did the attack send to the Niagara Ice Dogs for Declan Waddick? Of course, if you get this question correct, you'll win yourself a pair of tickets to Wednesday, December 13th game against the Guelph Storm. Declan, for you, is it weird to know that, without saying their name, that somebody was like kind of traded for you? Like, do you ever text them after and just be like, hey man, like, no hard feelings or anything like that? Have fun in Niagara?
Well, not really anything like that, but it is pretty weird and it's crazy, and I've heard he's where I billeted last year, which is kind of cool, and which he's in good hands. But yeah, no, nothing like, I'm not texting him or anything, but yeah. Do
you ever keep in touch with billet parents?
Yeah, for sure. The ones I had last year, they'll give me a text, wish me Thanksgiving or whatever it is. The kids will text me, Snapchat me, or whatever it is. But yeah, I definitely stay in contact with them.
Excellent. Well, we do have a winner already coming in quick there. Congratulations to Bev Piercy for texting in the correct answer. Of course, the player being traded, in return getting Declan Waddick, we sent away Gavin Bryant. So Gavin now down in Niagara and at your old billet house. So that's pretty exciting. Deni, for you, I mean, being a 20-year-old player, and do you still live with billet folks, or are you able to live on your own, or how does that work?
No, I still billet.
Yeah. Is that common for older players, just less things to worry about?
Yeah, there's not many players in the league that are living by themselves, I don't think.
Yeah. Have you been, do you feel like that's been a really good experience for you, like, having billet parents and, being here for all these years as well?
Yeah, it has been. It's been a really good experience. It's a lot different from being at home with your parents, but you still do get really close to them, and it is good.
Do you get your folks coming up from Chatham often to get to watch you play?
Yeah, especially this year because it's going to be my last year in the OHL, so they've been coming a bit more this year.
How do you prepare for this being your last year? Like, is that something you're thinking about often?
I try not to, no.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. You know, we have some guys on the show and they talk about, you know, I want to think about those things and it, you know, gets me fired up, and other people are like, no, I need to tune all the noise out and focus on my game. And so that's interesting. How would you clarify or classify yourself? Do you like the pressure, or do you try to tune it out and play your game?
I don't. Sometimes I do like the pressure, and then sometimes I kind of want to feel left alone and just kind of go do my own thing. Depends on the day, depends on the game or whatever it is.
Sure.
But yeah.
Well, we don't have too much time left, but what I'd like to do is just hear from both of you. I mean, having 4 or 5 years now in the OHL, do you have a favorite OHL memory?
Yeah, the first OHL goal was pretty. It was a pretty good one. It was pretty cool in the auditorium.
Yeah.
Lots of people at that rink. Always, it's usually packed. So just getting the first one out of the way was awesome.
Do you still have the puck? Did you keep that? Yeah. Keep the stick, or is it mostly just the puck when you
just the puck?
Yeah. Okay.
I'd probably have to agree. There wasn't much happening in Niagara the last 2 years.
Okay.
So probably the first goal. Brent Clark gave me a pizza and
nice.
Won 5 cheese. So.
Yeah. Okay. Cheese. All right. Good to know. Well, maybe the next time you're on the show, we'll have a 5 cheeser waiting for you. I think one of the guys last week was saying he's a big Brownie Blizzard fan, but we won't try to out him yet. I mean, you know, you gotta stay on that. Do you guys have, you know, just kind of, you know, being in the league for as long as you have, do you have a favorite and least favorite rink to play in?
I'm gonna have to think for a bit here.
I know a lot of the guys say Kitchener is their favorite.
Yeah, Kitchener.
Besides the Bayshore.
Yeah, the Bayshore, I always have fun playing there, but Kitchener would be my favorite and getting my first goal there too.
Sure, exactly.
And
yeah.
North Bay, I never have fun playing in that.
Okay.
rink.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
London's pretty cool just because of all the people that are there watching. And, I always like to play in Sudbury for some reason. I always play pretty well in Sudbury, and the fans are just nuts there.
I believe it.
I love it.
Yeah, I saw they recently had their special Shorzy uniforms on, so
those are pretty cool.
Lots of fan interaction there. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on the show this week. It's been great. We've got one more show next week. Thank you, everybody, for joining us here on Rogers TV, watching Attack Wrap. I'm your host, Nick Kennedy. We will see you back here again next week with James Petrosky and Thomas Lev Brennan. Thank you so much, and have a great evening.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
I did it.
I need it.
The hero gave it.
And I am alive.
As an organ donor, you can save up to 8 lives and enhance the lives of 75 others. Please go to our website. Pledge a gift of life. You'll be glad you did.
What are you here for? I'm here.
Score 40. Score 50.
Come on, that's it?
There's a new member of the 60 goal